Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, as always, I'm going to start off giving praise, honor, and glory to our power. YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH. Right? Alright. Sound good. Double honors to our apostles, our elders, and great millstone, who will teach us sound doctrine, strong shalom, to the hopeful elect, and the rest of the large multitude of the children. That the Lord have mercy on these last days, man. It's your brother Kadash representing Jim Branch here at Cleveland to bring Lord willing an edifying lesson. Alright, so we're jumped on me to go into this topic. As you can tell by the title of this lesson, is continue to blow the flame. Alright, continue to blow the flame. Alright, and what I mean by that is that what you're going to find out is that, YAHAWASHI, or what you should know by now, YAHAWASHI has required, especially the men of the Lord, the one who upholds his image in terms of what the prophecies, the way they carry themselves, and so forth. All right, mainly upholding his testimony, which is the testimony of YAHAWASHI, which is the spirit of prophecy. Okay, and through prophecy, okay, in order for prophecy to be manifested on the earth in front of man, and for man to understand it, it had to be told and explained and expounded upon and broken down unto these individuals, okay, who may have ears and eyes to see, okay, and ears to hear, okay, and those things are done by the means of the men that the Lord has set up through the prophets, all right. And what do the prophets do? The prophets prophesy, okay. So the men of the Lord doing the work is how we are continuing to blow this flame, man. Continue to blow the flame. Continue to do the work, man. All right? Because what you're going to find out is that the breath of YAHAWASHI, okay, that's entered into to us, that allowed us to stand upon our feet, okay, and to prophesy to the nations the downfall of the kingdoms and what's to come of Israel. It's that breath, okay, that has entered into us, that gave us knowledge, wisdom, understanding, okay, to be able to stand upon our feet, okay, and it's the same breath, it's the same utterance that comes out of us, like the bishop, all right, Atizawan, right, like what he said was, like you put your hand over your mouth, right, it's a vibration, because it's life coming out of your mouth. There's energy, there's power, right, coming from your utterance, okay. How Shah says not what goes into a man, but what comes out. Okay, because what comes out is what you that also Yahweh Shah also said every man, roughly paraphrasing, will be justified by the things he say. Okay. They will give account in the day of judgment. Okay, so the utterance, the things that we speak, all right, it has power. It's scripture telling in James, life and death is in the power of the tongue. Okay. So the things that we speak have weight to them, man. So the prophets, the things that they utter comes from the heavens. It comes from the heavens. The mindset that the prophets have are directly from Yahawah, YAHAWASHI, man. Okay? So we must what? Continue to blow the flame. See, the flame is already started by the way of the prophets. You see? The prophets is the one who lit the match. Okay? And you can't just light the match and start the fire, man. You got to continue to blow the fire for brothers with barbecue, man. You got to keep those tunnels open so the wind can go through so the charcoal can stay lit, man. Some form of air has to hit that flame in order for the flame to grow and to prosper. Okay? So before I dive into the scriptures, get this real quick. It says, what happens to fire when you blow on it? It says, that's what I typed in. When you blow on fire, more oxygen is inserted into the structure of wood and embers. Not only is oxygen required for fire to burn, but blowing more into them creates pressure on the system that gets those embers really going. See, that's what the prophets are doing. The prophets are what? They're creating pressure, applying pressure to the what? To the system. You see, the prophets are applying pressure into the system by continuing to blow the flame that we have lit through the prophets that came in the men and the great men that had come before us. And we entered into the labors and we're continuing to burn that flame, man. What flame? The flame of prophecies. The flame of Esau's system burning and being destroyed, man. You see, we're putting pressure on the system that get those embers really going. Once this has been established, your fire will burn consistently and in a healthy manner. See, that's why the scriptures, Lord, will like to get that. The scripture, YAHWASHI, he talks about taking your hand off the plow, man. See, once we put our hand to the plow, we got to keep our hand to the plow. We have to continue to blow the flame, because if we don't continue to blow the flame, the fire goes out, man. You see? Would imagine all the prophets. See, that's what, and a matter of fact, I ain't even gonna have to say imagine, because that's what the Lord is gonna have. He's gonna have all the prophets' mouths be shut, man. You see? When a breakdown is needed, that's what Matthew 25 is about. Okay, trying to gather oil from another man, that understanding from another man. But when you have opportunity and leisure, you shunned it, man. See, the Lord is going to shut the mouth of the prophets, okay? And he's going to take away those men that are blowing that flame. Because once he take away those men that are blowing that flame, the flame is already at a consistent and healthy manner, to the point it's going to manifest itself until the world of what the prophets was actually doing. That imagine me sitting here going, and you can't see what I'm blowing at, but then later that week you come back and you see this gigantic, you know what I'm saying? That's what's about to happen to the world. The prophets, the words that we speak, the breath and the oxygen that we push out on the highways and hedges and any video epistles, it's us blowing the flame to burning down this society, man. You see? I think that was that Nero that tried to he burnt down Rome and tried to blame it on the prophets, man. You see how ironic, because we're literally burning the system by the words that we speak. If you don't believe me, they have something called hate speech. They have something called algorithms and a system set up and designed to catch men in their words, man. We have to use codes and different lingos, okay? And so if you're in the know, you know. That's because the Most High is making his way towards taking the prophets off the scene, because why the elect is going to be sealed to the point that we don't have to, the sealing is done, man. Because the prophets are burning the system down by the utterance and the things that they speak, man. Because we're speaking life into a system that's dead. You see? When one of them's gonna, you can't go join hand in hand. One of them's gonna overpower the other, man. When the sun comes up, it overpowers the nighttime, man. You see? So, real quick, make sure I'm still good on the sound. That's what the prophets is doing. The prophets are blowing the flame by the prophecies, man, by the utterance, by the speech, the things that we speak, man. Okay? Real quick, let me get it quick. This Sirach sound should be good. Sirach 28. This is Sirach 28, and let's go straight to the point. Sirach 28 and 12. It says, "If thou blow the spark." Now this chapter is dealing with, the betraying of, going back and forth between friends and the deceitfulness, different things like that, man. But I want to go straight to the point. Sirach and Apocrypha Ecclesiasticus, which is also known as Sirach, chapter 28 and 12. "If thou blow the spark, it shall burn." So the point is that when you blow the spark, it's going to burn. So if you just continue to do the work, this system will eventually come down, man. It will eventually burn. You see? Don't take your hand off the plow, man. Our aspirations in this realm is to get out of this realm. Our aspirations, our desires is to receive those new bodies, to receive the kingdom, to receive salvation, to receive crowns and rest. You see, in order to do that, in order to get to that point, we have to burn the system. We have to burn the things that are corrupt and that are defiled, and the things that are contrary, and the things that are not upright. We have to burn it. We have to purge it. You see, you purge something that is not right. So it says, "If thou," and I was dealing with your speech, your tongue. "If thou blow the spark, it shall burn. If thou spit upon it, it shall be quenched. And both these come out of thy mouth." You see, so So right, so the prophets are continuing. You must continue to blow the flame, man. Matter of fact, real quick, um, Ezekiel. Let's go to Ezekiel 22 real quick. Ezekiel 22 and 18. Start. Let's start right here. 18. Point is a little bit down. Son of man, the house of Israel. Now this is what the Most High, okay, is preaching about unto Israel. Okay, it says, Son of man, the house of Israel is to me become dross. All they are brass and tin and iron and lead in the midst of the furnace. They are even the dross of silver. Therefore, thus said the Lord power, YAHWASHI, because you are all become dross, behold, there I will gather you into the midst of Jerusalem. As they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace to blow the fire upon it. You see, because that's what you do in order to get that consistency and that fire to be at a healthy manner, as it said. You have to what? Blow the fire upon it. Okay, that's the emphasis. The breath that you breathe on fire is the emphasis on what you're trying to accomplish out of that fire. You see, it says to melt it. So to melt it. And that's our goal. We're blowing this flame. We're speaking words of prophecy to melt this place. Okay, to burn her with fire. And that's what the Lord is going to do. It's something called the lake of fire. The Lord is going to burn up America. The Lord is going to burn up the red, white, and blue. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Salakia. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to burn up Babylon the Great, man. Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua is going to burn up rebels. He's going to melt. Okay, I like that better. He's going to melt, okay, the things, and he's going to consume the things that were contrary, okay, that couldn't stand fire, that couldn't withhold in the fire, and that were contrary to him. That's called purge, like I said. Okay, and the Lord is blowing that fire. He's right now, you see, because the fire has already started to melt it. So will I gather you in my anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. You see, the Lord is going to melt this place because he's talking to Israel first. But what did the Lord say? Matter of fact, before I get that, let's keep going. It says, yeah, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, and you shall be melted in the midst thereof, as silver is melted in the midst of the furnace. So shall ye be melted in the midst thereof, and you should know that I, the Lord, have poured out my fury upon you. You see, and this is, I read that so you can know that you're gonna know that the Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is the one that has done this. You see, and he's the one that is raining a fire. He has a what it say? He has a fury against Esau and the inhabitants thereof. Okay, he has a righteous anger towards the wickedness that goes on in this place, man. You see, so he's gonna melt it. He has to melt it. He has to burn it. But he's starting off doing. He's the start of this burning process. Okay, because when you start the oven, you let the oven preheat. See, this is like a form of a preheat. Okay, by the prophets being on the scene, the prophets are blowing because when you got a gas stove and you turn the stove on, it kicks out a flame, but the flame is kicked out by air or by pressure, and it's blue and it's sparked. Okay, but the oven still has to preheat in order to get to that perfect heat. That perfect heat that's coming is the lake of fire. That the judgment from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. See, the preheat is the warning to the heat that's coming. So the prophets are the preheat in this oven because this is going to be just one big oven. Okay. And I was thinking of Deuteronomy because the Lord, I read that for Israel because the Lord had that fury, but he's putting that on the nations. He's going to put that on our enemies, man. This is Deuteronomy 30:7. It says, and the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. You see, so the Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is about to put that same fury that he had on us, because it tell you in Jeremiah 30 that he had wounded us with the wound of an enemy. You see, so the wound of an enemy was a fire kindled upon Israel. You see, he burned us. The Lord melted us. All right, he melted our status. He melted our concept, our way of thinking. All right, everything that had made us us, he melted that whole concept. He wounded us with the wound of an enemy. So the Lord is about to put these curses that he put on us. He's putting them back on our enemies, man. You see, because the curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked. So the wicked belongs in that category. But because we fell into that mindset, we also too had to go through that. But the Lord is withdrawing that, and he's healing us, like it says in Jeremiah 30 as well. And he's putting these things back on our enemies. You see, he's putting these things back on our enemies. But it starts with the prophets. The prophets has like the bishop said, man. We always were set up as to be teachers, man. We've been teaching since the foundations of the earth, man. That's what Israelites do. We teach, man. We teach, okay? And that's also a part of us blowing this flame. All right. When you go to Joel, okay, to just show you again, like the prophecy is the way we do. Is how we're putting our that breath on this flame that's sparked by the prophets. It says, because who started it? YAHWASHI, man. Matter of fact, to prove that, this is Hebrews. YAHWASHI is actually the one who who lit the flame. YAHWASHI said, greater works will ye do, because once he had left this realm, okay, the prophets stayed on the scene. So the prophets are the ones that's actually putting a stick to the flame and continuing to blow on it, okay, so that YAHWASHI can come back and with the greater machinery, if you will, to magnify that flame. You see, but YAHWASHI is the one that started the flame. This is Hebrews 1, just real quick. Hebrews 1:1. It says, the Most High at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in times past unto the fathers by who? The prophets. You see, the prophets are blowing that flame all the way from the beginning. And then when we go into verse 2, it says, having these last days spoken unto us by his son. You see, YAHWASHI was a prophet, and it starts, he said, I am the beginning and I am the end. YAHWASHI is the one who started that flame. He sparked it. Okay, he lit it, man. And we're continuing to keep the fire going so that when he come back, you know what I'm saying, it was in this perfect state. He's going to what? Ignite the flame and magnify it, man. But we had to keep it. He allowed us to keep it going while he departed, okay, for a second, man. And he really never really departed, because it's by his spirit that allows us to keep the flame going. He is the first and he is the last. He's the Ah and he is the Tha. Okay. Having these last days spoken unto us by his son, whom he have appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the world. So in the last days, YAHWASHI, it was when the last days started when YAHWASHI walked in this realm as YAHWASHI, man. All right, not as Solomon or Isaac, you know what I'm saying? All right. This is Joel chapter 2. Let's start at the top. It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion. Again, you blowing the trumpet, that's us sounding the alarm. And what is the alarm? The alarm of prophecy. But the alarm is to warn the people of the danger that is coming, man. Okay? That's a form of us continuing to blow the flame. We must continue to blow the flame so that the prophecies can come to pass, man. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh. What's the day of the Lord? The fire, man. But it starts with us what? Blowing. We're blowing the flame that was sparked. Okay. And the more you continue the more when you barbecue, the more air that hits the coal, all right, the charcoal, the more air that hits the charcoal, the greater the flame becomes. See, we have the hole open so that we can have a consistent fire. You see, but that's what's going on. But it's going to come a time where what the day of the Lord is going to come. Okay, and the Lord talks about the besom of destruction when you go to Isaiah. What's that? Isaiah chapter uh, uh, uh 14. Isaiah chapter 14. The Lord talks about the besom of destruction. A besom is when you take a broom and you sweep it, right? The scriptures talk about the destroying wind. Okay, the Lord is coming with a destroying wind. You see, a great blast of air that's going to ignite a gigantic flame that's going to consume everything in its path, and that's that ICBM missile. Okay, but it's going to bring a gigantic air bubble and it's going to ignite that flame. Okay, that's what the Lord is coming. That's the day of the Lord. For it is at hand, for it's not at hand, or it is not at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations, because this great flame that I mentioned, the beast of destruction, this like it said, blow ye the trumpet. So right now we're continuing, like it said here. It said, when you blow on a fire, more oxygen is inserted into the structure. So that's the prophets. But then the Lord is going to come, what? Boom, bring that gigantic burst of wind, which is the beast of destruction, to ignite a greater fire, which is the lake of fire, man. This is a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. See, and that's what's coming because the trumpet was blown. That the prophecies were the prophecies was blown. Okay, the prophecies was uttered. That energy was pushed out. The land is of the garden as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yet and nothing shall escape them. You see that's that gust of wind that's coming from the ICBM missiles is what's going to actually ignite the lake of fire, man, as well as the lasers, the concentrated lasers from the chariots and so forth, man. That's what's going to do it, man. Real quick, we go to Luke 12, man. This is Luke 12:49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? See, the Lord already started the fire, you see? And the prophets are continuing to make a lot of the prophets are continuing. I'm gonna keep saying it. The prophets, the Lord YAHWASHI has the prophets continue to blow on that fire so it can stay at a consistent rate. You see, and it can have a healthy, what it say, be in a healthy manner. You see, that's what the prophets are doing. You see, because ever since the prophets came on the scene, at Jeremiah 28:8, you know what I'm saying? Might as well grab that real quick. So you see how important, Lord willing, I'm shining. The Lord, the Spirit is not me, but the Spirit is shining some light on how important it is for us to continue to blow this flame, to continue to teach and prophesy. The downfall is a set your face against Mount Seir, prophesy against it, man. That's how important that prophecy is, man, because it's actually the utterance and the voice of the Lord coming directly from the heavens, man. So I quoted it. Let me get this real quick. Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, the word of evil. Evil is a compound word, evil meaning time, ill meaning bad, and of pestilence. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what the Spirit is bringing out. The prophets, when the prophets came on the scene, a flame was lit. Okay, and then eventually what? The system was burned down. The Sodom and Gomorrah, the land was burned down. You see, when the prophets came on the scene, destruction comes after it, man. You see, destruction comes after it, man. You see, because why? The prophets was blowing the flame. You see the Yahawashi, see the fire that's coming to the earth now, it had to be a different type of fire, man. You see, the Lord told us, He had showed us an example of that in Sodom and Gomorrah. It was an example unto those who should live ungodly. See, that's the closest we came until to the was it the viewing of what's about to come in the near future to the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, the modern day Babylon and Egypt and so forth, man. You see? So, but this time Yahawah lit that flame, man. I brought it out in Hebrews 1. Okay, and he's the one that lit this flame, and we're continuing to blow it so it can stay at a what, like the definition said, at a consistent rate, man, consistently and in a healthy manner, so that the Lord can bring that concentrated wind, that concentrated fire, the lake of fire, the day of the Lord from the besom, that great mighty wind of destruction, a destroying wind, as the scriptures say. And that's what the Lord is about to bring, man. You see? Matter of fact, go to Isaiah. This is Isaiah 62 and 1 for the let's go straight to the point. Isaiah 62 and 6. I have said I was gonna read from the top, but it's cool. Isaiah 62 and 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Yea, that make mention of the Lord, keep not silent. See, this is another way we're continuing to, like I keep saying, the prophecy, man. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. That's blowing the flame. That's continuing you blowing the flame. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence, and give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. You see, that's what blowing the flame is going to do. It's going to work, because when you blow the flame, you're grilling and you keep the vents open. If you got a smoker and all that, you keep the vents open, the flame gets greater. So therefore, what, the food can be properly cooked. If there's no fire, the food cannot be properly cooked. You understand? See, this is our offering unto the Lord. The place in where we dwell, Babylon the Great, is an altar. Okay, it's an altar, and the Lord said He has a sacrifice in Isaiah 63. And Basra was the capital city of the Edomites in this, what is known today as the red, white, and blue. So the Lord has a sacrifice in this place. It's going to be a great cookout. It's going to be a great barbecue. The scripture talk about the people being the lambs and the goats, man. Okay, that's going to be the food that's being cooked in this great barbecue, and it's because we kept that flame going through the prophecies and doing the work and being consistent and diligent in the work. Therefore, we're able to continue to blow that flame. Therefore, the food will be properly cooked. And now we can eat, and that's why the scripture talk about that great feast. You see, so the Lord is going to have a great feast, the great marriage of the Lamb, man. It's going to be a feast because the barbecue, the food is ready. Okay, the food, I think all the germs were purged out, man. So it's a great feast coming by the flame that's being blown until that charcoal to keep the fire consistently growing, so that we can celebrate at the end, man. So they can burn up the things they need to burn up, man. That's why it's important. That's why I'm naming this title, this lesson, continue to blow the flame. We must continue to blow the flame, man. Let me get this real quick. How it's, because they go hand in hand. Prophesying and blowing the trumpet goes hand in hand with fire, as we've been bringing out. I'm gonna just get like two more and we close out. This is Jeremiah 6 and 1. Oh, you children of Benjamin, gather yourselves together. So like gather yourselves to flee out of the midst of Jerusalem, and blow the trumpet in Tekiel, and set up a sign of fire in Beth Hakaram. For evil, bad times appeared out of the north, and great destruction. Because the prophets are set up on the scene, they what? They blow the trumpet. They blowing the trumpet is prophesying, warning the people, telling them what's to come, whether they're Israel or the nations. All right, marking them in a sense. Blow the trumpet, and then what? Set up a sign of fire. So the blowing the trumpet allows the what? the spark. You blowing a trumpet is sparking the flame. When you set up the fire, the sign of the fire, that's your consistent work. All right, that's the sign, the token, okay, which is a sign. The is the work of the prophets. Okay, the work of the prophets is a sign that the end is near, the end of Esau's system. The work that we put in, the video epistles, and how you see how many videos go out all throughout the day. Those are signs that that Yahawashi is coming. It says set up a sign. It said set up a sign of fire. That's a sign. That's the fire that's about to come. The prophets being on the scene. Don't flag. They flagging our videos, taking our videos down. Those are signs of the fire that is about to come, man. And therefore, what the evil appeareth and out of the north, and of great destruction. So the bad times is appearing now unto man. Everybody's noticing it, and what's going to come after? A great destruction. You see, that is why it's important to continue to blow the flame, man. Continue to do the work, man. Let me get two more. John 9:4. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. You see? So the Lord, we must do the work while we can, because it's going to be a time. It's a time that's going to come on the earth that you're not going to be able to do this work. And you're going to wish you did more. You're going to be conflicted and vexed in your spirit because you're going to know that you didn't give your all. You're going to feel like you didn't give your all to the Lord, to the ministry. Were you breaking a sweat, blowing that fire, man, keeping it going? Were you working hard, man? The scriptures talk about whatever thou do with all thy might. We must do this. We must do this work with all our might, man, with all our mind, body, and soul, man. Okay? That's what the Lord requires of us, man. Let me close out with Luke. This is Luke. Oh, come on now. This is Luke 9. Last verse. Luke 9:62. And Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahawah. All right? BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, man. So if you take your hand off the plow, you're done, man. You're finito. Finished. If you take your hand off the plow, you cannot, no one eats. If I'm a farmer and I take my hand off the plow, I cannot what? I cannot continue to grow crops and farm. I cannot tend to the vineyard. I can't tend to the no one or nothing. Nobody wins. Okay, so therefore everybody dies. You see the example of that. What he took man from actually tending to the earth. So now everybody's dying because you don't eat proper food. Everything's toxic. He took man and animals and beasts like shrimp, crab, lobster, and different things of such. He took these different things. He disrupted the ecosystem, and he took those things out from actually tending and tilling the ground like it's supposed to. Even shit, how the cycle of clouds and how everything around us works. He stripped everything and he consumed it into one ball, or he took it away so it can't run its natural course, it seemed. So now everything's right out of whack. The brothers was going into it earlier. Seasons are all off. He changed times and laws. So he's trying to mix everything up and create his own system. That's what this NW was about, creating his own format of his God complex, man. So what more else to do for us? How much? What I'm saying? What else is to do? The only thing to do is to fucking continue to blow the flame. The fire is already lit. Yahawashi lit the fire when he came on the scene, man, as himself. So we're continuing this flame, continuing the fire at its consistent rate, at a healthy rate, so that we continue to bring that definition is heavy, Blowing a flame brings pressure onto the system. And read it again. Not only is oxygen required for fires to burn, so in order for this place to go down, the prophets had to be on the scene, because the prophets are the ones that's uttering that oxygen out of their mouth, that vibration onto this place, and is destroying this place by the words that we're speaking. But blowing more into them creates pressure on the system. So you blow more air on charcoal or on this system, or on the things around us, it puts pressure on the system, man. And eventually it's devoured and it's consumed. What happens to charcoal? The more air that's put on charcoal, yeah, it lights the fire to keep it consistent. That's why you open the valve, you open a window a little bit, but then you open it greater, it may get the flame starts and so forth. But as soon as you close up, or if you close it or not close it, talking about the vent to the grill, either way, eventually that charcoal is going to turn to what? Dust. It's going to be completely consumed by the fire that was brought upon it. See, the people don't know that a fire is lit on this place. The Lord showed you that with an omen when the dude had the flag on his shirt and he lit himself on fire, walking towards the White House, man. That was an omen of what's to come. And what's to come is a devouring fire, as we read in the scriptures, to this place that's never, like it says in Isaiah 13, going to be inhabited ever again, man. In Revelations 18, man. So, hey, man, continue to blow the flame, man. You know what I'm saying? Continue to blow the flame. Continue to, prophesy the downfall of the system, man. Downfall of Babylon the Great, man. Okay, continue to do what the Lord commanded us, so that He can bring that consuming fire, that besom of destruction, that ultimate wind to ignite this great flame to consume everything around us, man, which are against our Heavenly Father, man. So again, we give all honor and glory into our power, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH. Double honors again to our apostle, Elder Great Millstone, who will teach you on sound doctrine, stream shalom. Again to the oathful elect and the rest of the large multitude of children. The Lord will have mercy on these last days, man. Till next time, Lord will edify. Shalom.